The very worst thing that you can do if you are a musician trying to grow on Spotify is get on a fake playlist. Get on a playlist with bots or fake user accounts. If you do end up on a fake playlist, first of all, you're going to jack up the data that you have, and Spotify won't be able to figure out where your music fits in context, and as a result, they won't show you to anybody. And so basically, you'll have a really hard time getting streams and getting followers and getting any kind of growth on the platform. Then the absolute worst case scenario is that Spotify will actually take your music down. They'll just say, hey, this has fake streams. We're not going to let it be on our platform, and so it'll get removed. And that is what can happen if you get on a fake Spotify playlist. Now, the good news is that there's actually a super simple way to tell, in general, if a playlist is real, is built with real followers and not fake robots. And if you do this every time you look at a playlist or you pitch a playlist, you will have a good chance of getting on actually good playlists and actually building presence and growth and streams and followers on Spotify. And so with that said, I'm going to switch my screen to the computer screen, and I'll walk you through the tool that I use to tell if a playlist is legit. Okay, so here's what you do to tell if a playlist is real. So I'm here, I found this Evening Chill playlist, and I'm going to copy the link to this playlist. So go to 3 dots, share, copy link to playlist. And so over here, I'm using a tool called Spot on Track, and there are a bunch of tools you can use for this. I'm going to show you this one, and then I'll mention a few others, but I'll just show you how it works to start. So I grab that link to the playlist, and I'm going to paste it in here and hit search. And Spot on Track pulls it up, so it has the playlist here. And then if you click the playlist, it has data on all these songs. I'm not interested in that right now. I'm interested in the followers. And so this is the follower growth curve over the last 3 months. If I click all, see all possible data for this follower growth curve, here is what the playlist looks like. And this is a sign that the playlist is probably a good playlist. Basically what you want to see is this smooth, steady upward growth curve for a playlist. If you see spikes, so if you see a sharp spike up or a sharp spike down especially, that is a clear sign that a playlist is built with bots. So Spot on Track has a 14-day free trial, super easy to use. Again, you just go up to playlist, paste your playlist in, you can see. There are a few other tools that I like too. So here's a tool called Artist Tools that does a similar thing, and you can paste in your playlist here, and they'll give you a little bit more data on if the playlist is good or not. So they have these quality indicators. They estimate how many monthly listeners you'd get from it. They talk about the growth and talk about the popularity score. And then they also give you the follower history. So they're basically saying this is a good playlist, and here's the follower growth curve to kind of prove it. This tool is totally free for the playlist analysis, but they'll only give you 7 days of data to start. So you have to pay, I think, $15 a month if you want to see like the all-time data for a playlist. And then the other tool I like is it a good Spotify playlist? Now this hasn't been working for me today, so let's see if it works. It was just spinning out. So just loading. This is not a good sign because this happened to me earlier today. I've used this tool a ton, but for some reason today it doesn't seem to be loading.
5 hours later.
And it's not loading. But this is a free tool that you can use. You can pay for more advanced statistics, but the free tool will show you the follower growth curve. Okay, so I showed you what a good playlist looks like. Now I want to show you what a playlist that is not as good looks like. So I found this one as well, and I'm going to copy the link to the playlist. We'll go over here and paste it into the Spot on Track search bar and click, and let's take a look. So check this out. This is 3 months, and you can see it's only starting with 5,000 followers, so it makes sense that it would be a little bit more bumpy, a little bit bumpier. But first of all, it's declining, and that's not a good sign. If a playlist is having steadily declining growth, that's a sign that users are disengaged at the very least, which is not good. And then secondly, there's like here 4 users lost in a day, here another 5, here's a dip. So there's just a lot of downward spikes. It honestly isn't as bad as if it were like 100 followers lost in a day, because that would be a clear-cut sign that Spotify found a big bot farm and just deleted it. But it is fishy. So at the very least, this is a disengaged playlist, and there's a decent chance that some of the accounts aren't real as well. So this would be one to run away from. And then here's a third one that I don't think looks very good, and I'll show you why. So if I copy the link to the playlist and I plug it into the Spot on Track search bar, go back here. New indie. So check this out. So this is weird to me. Look at how just in one day it goes up by like 1,000 followers. That's something that there's not really a good explanation for. That looks to me like they paid somebody to get them a ton of followers. And then sure enough, if you go like oh, look at this. This is awful. So this is the kind of drop that shows they definitely were paying for botted followers. And then in one day, Spotify just cleared out probably a bunch of bot accounts. And this playlist was hit because their followers were bots. So this is a playlist you would definitely want to avoid. And honestly, it's probably worth reporting them to Spotify for a terms of service violation, because it's almost certain to me that they have, at least in the past, built with botted followers, and it's still not looking good. That's a weird spike. So that's my go-to method that I use to tell if a Spotify playlist is legit or not. It's not 100% set in stone, but generally if there are spikes, either up or down, that is a sign that a playlist is not good. And on the other hand, if there is a slow and steady growth curve, that's a sign that the playlist probably is built with real followers.